Okay. How is everyone on this afternoon? Um, Now, I want to talk to you about this American Saudi Arabia, this American woman who traveled to Saudi Arabia. And it's important to talk about this because people have to start understanding that in different countries, there is different laws in different countries. And so when our American people go over to these countries and they think that they're going to act a certain way or be a certain way or do something a certain way, they may be held accountable in different ways. And one of them is to uh, incarcerate them, hold them hostage or put them in prison. And so this is a story that came out some time ago, but they're doing an update on it. And so I had some uh I had some views on it, and so I want to share those views, and I'd like to hear from you on what you think about this woman. Now, this woman was married to this man for quite some time. He is a Saudi Arabian man, and he was living in the States, and so he married an American woman, right? He married an American woman, and then they got a divorce, right? But they had this daughter with this union, and they're no longer married. And so he went back to his home country, right? And she stayed in America. Now, however, she decided to travel to Saudi Arabia, and she wanted his family, the grandfather on the Saudi side, the paternal side, to get to meet her daughter, and she wanted her daughter to get to meet his family, right? And so the mother, and I'm just giving you the backstory, and then I'm going to get into the article, and then I'll give you my opinion on this and my views. Now, her mother name is Denise, and she told her daughter not to travel. She said she was concerned for her daughter, and she did not want her daughter traveling over to Saudi Arabia. But the mother chose to go over there and take the daughter. Now, I'm going to get into this story, but I'm going to also give you my opinion on it because I think that this woman, she's an American woman, she was hard-headed, and basically she should have stayed her behind over here in the States. Because when it comes down to the SA people, they have different cultures over there. They have strict cultures over there, and their women are very submissive, and they're submissive in a way that American women probably will never be submissive. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So therefore, she went over there, and the picture that they showed of her, now this picture they showed of her, she had a lot of makeup on her face, and she had a hijab on. Now there's nothing wrong with the hijab, but you got all this makeup on your face, and most of the time you will not see an SA woman with all this makeup on. They are not those type of women. They are very chaste, they are submissive, and you will not see that. So this woman is considered a loose woman because she's an American woman, and it's no disrespect, but this is how they view a lot of the American women. And so she's putting on all this makeup and covering up. But that's just, she thought she was playing chess, but really she was playing checkers because they were playing chess with her. So let's get into this story. So anyway, they had incarcerated her. They had locked her up, right? But they have since freed her. They did free her, but they banned her from traveling. And then they said that the daughter whereabouts of the 8-year-old little girl was unknown. Right. So in my opinion, I believe that the little girl is with his family. I don't think that the little girl is with someone else. I believe she's with his family. So let's get into this article. So Saudi Arabia has released an American woman who they took into custody earlier this week. Now, this was last week when they took this woman into custody, right? After she tweeted and otherwise spoke out about her efforts to leave the country with her young Saudi American daughter, according to a U.S. official and a U.S.-based advocacy group Thursday. Now, they said Saudi American, so they're trying to link this, give it some type of attachment to it. Now, the little girl father is Saudi, so she does have, the father, race, because she is Saudi, but she was born in America, so she is a Saudi American child, right? Okay. So Carly Morris, who is the woman, she is the mother of this 8-year-old daughter with this Saudi Arabian SA man, right? And so she was released early Wednesday, which was last week, after being summoned and taken into custody by Saudi authorities in the northern central of Barada on Monday, according to the Freedom Initiative. Now, the Washington-based group advocates for prisoners it deems wrongfully detained in the Middle East. But see, let me tell you something. When you go over there and start tweeting stuff that's critical, or it's something that is not in the good light, they are going to detain you. And that's what they did to her when she came out and spoke. But see, first of all, this woman already knew what it was like to deal with this man and to deal with his culture and his family. She already knew that. So this lady, in my opinion, is chasing some type of clout because she's trying to establish her daughter's rightful place in the family of the Saudi, the SA father. And that's what she's trying to do. But see, her mother told her to keep her behind at home. You know what I'm saying? And she decided to go ahead and go over there, knowing that she should have stayed here. See, them folks over there play chess. They don't play checkers. And see, she didn't realize that they was going to play chess on her. So let me keep on going. So Morris, who the group says was shackled in front of her 8-year-old daughter, was questioned while in custody about her tweets and contacts with news organizations and rights groups over her 3-year effort to leave the kingdom with her child, Freedom Initiative said. See, she went over there and she had no business going over there. That's the whole thing. And so she was up here tweeting on Twitter, and they caught on to it. See, let me tell you something. There was a 72-year-old man that's an SA, and he's an American citizen living in America, and now he's over there serving 16 years behind bars because he came out on Twitter and made some comment that they felt was maybe either critical against their country or them directly, and or whatever he said. They didn't take too kindly to it. So when he went back over there to visit his country, they locked him up. And he's 72 years old, serving 16 years in their prison over there. And that is why it's important to keep your behind at home. See, when you go in places and you already know there's trouble, you ought to stay at home. This woman already knew that there was some trouble going on over there in SA and what type of people they are, and the fact that she had been struggling and battling with the child's father for several years, struggling in a custody battle back and forth, and you still went over there when your mother told you not to. See, we can get grown sometimes, too grown to listen to grown-ups. And when it comes to our parents, a lot of times they know what's best for us. Even if we are adults, they still know what's best for us. So the mother was telling her that she was afraid for her and not to go. Now, see, if she had been playing chess, she would have stayed over here and told them they needed to come over here and see the child if they wanted to meet the child to come over here. But see, she was playing checkers and they was playing chess. So anyway, the Saudi embassy in Washington and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs did not immediately respond to an email seeking comment. Why would they respond? The woman should have kept her behind in America. You see what I'm saying? And so anyway, the Saudi Arabia under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, has cracked down on speech on Twitter and elsewhere by those the government sees as critics or rivals. And so that's what he saw. When she's up here criticizing how they live over there and their culture, they're cracking down. So that's why they got her. But it's more to it than that. They got her because, see, first of all, the father has been making some noise over there. And I'm pretty sure that the father of the father of the child, but the grandfather, making some noise. And he probably told his son, you are an embarrassment to us. You went over to America, you married an American woman, and then she looking the way she looking worldly. And you know that the SA women are, they're very submissive, way different submissive than American women. So he marries her. It doesn't work out. She has custody of the child and she acting like she calling the shots. Don't work like that over at SA. Understand that. See, over here, you can call the shots. You can live freely. You can co-parent. You can go to court and fight the man and argue and stand all up, and tell the man what he gonna do for you. You know that this is what goes on over here in America, right? Over there, hear me clearly. In SA, you cannot do that. And she probably went over there prancing, thinking that she had the complexion for the protection. They don't care about no complexion for the protection, because you know what I'm saying? This woman is, who, she's not this. She's the other one. And so therefore, she over there prancing, probably trying to call some shots, trying to establish her 8-year-old daughter her rightful place, because this is 3 years later when the little girl was 5. Now she's 8. You trying to establish this little girl's rightful place in the family, and you over there talking with your red lipstick on, the bright red lipstick, and on eyeliner, makeup, all on your face, right? And the hijab on, trying to act like you Muslim. Over there, they can see through all that nonsense. They not playing those games with you. Your struggle is real, Carly Morris. And I'm just telling you, because you should have stayed in America. See, when your mama told you, not mother, but when your mama told you to stay over here because she was concerned about you, she was genuinely concerned about you, you still went over there, right? And so at least one U.S. Saudi citizen and 2 Saudi students in the West have received long prison sentences in recent months over comments on Twitter, or according to Saudi court documents, in one case in phone calls. Because there was a student, a female student, she was doing that too. See, you can't come over here and try to act like you all that and then go back over there. Them folks is going to get you. SA people will hold you accountable. And I'm going to say SA. So y'all understand that that's what I'm speaking of, is SA. They're going to get you. They're going to hold you accountable, and they are going to detain you. And see, this is what they've been doing. They have been detaining folks that go over there. So listen to this. So Morris traveled to Saudi Arabia in 2019 for what was intended to be a short stay to allow her daughter to meet the family of the Saudi father. And Bethany Al Hadari, Freedom's Initiative Saudi Arabia case manager. Okay. Now, this is what I'm saying. She took her daughter over there, more than likely trying to call some shots. You can't call no shots over there. And I'm going to tell you why shortly. You cannot call shots over there with those SA men in that country. Does not work that way. Women do not have those type of rights over there. So that's what I'm telling you. They were playing chess with her. And so she thinks she's so smart, and she thought she had the complexion for the protection. No, they do not care about that over there. They care about what they care about and what their laws are. And guess what? She went over there thinking that she probably was all that, with that bright red, thick lipstick on, makeup on, with a hijab. Let me tell you, they saw all through that. They already know what type of woman that you are. And since you're in America and you traveling over there, and you've been raised in America, you haven't been raised with those morals and the values and standards that they have over there in their culture. You have not. You've been raised in America. So you should have stayed in America, where you have freedom as a woman. And liberation. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of liberal women here. Liberation. Because over there, there's no liberation for those women. So she went over there, and I'm not trying to mock her, but at the end of the day, let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. You should have stayed over here. So anyway, in America. So Morris had faced Saudi Arabia's strict laws on male guardianship. See what I'm saying? Male guardianship, in her efforts to leave with her daughter again. She tried to leave before people, and it's not happening right now. And they still cannot do anything about it, because she went over there and they have different laws. And American people cannot go over there and tell them how to run their country and what to do over there with their strict male guardianship laws. So she went over there. I told you all, she was over there probably trying to throw her little, Americanized, freedom around over there. You know what I'm saying? And they said, we're not having it. And see, she didn't understand that them people, the SAs, they were playing chess, not checkers. Okay. And so she got over there, and she'd been over there since 2019. She thought it was going to be a short stay, but see, she couldn't have thought it was going to be a short stay. She went over there on her own, trying to clout chase, trying to use her complexion and thinking she all that. And I'm just saying my opinion. And I really believe that all that she hired than, what she thought she was going to be. Because see, over here, you know how they do. People over here, certain people got the complexion for the protection over here. You know how that works. Over there, they don't have that. They don't care about that. They care about the male guardianship laws. So therefore, she went over there trying to leave, and they said no. So Morris advocates say Saudi Arabia also has placed the American woman. See, she thought she was American Wonder when she went over there. But now she not. She an American woman. And I'm telling you how they see things over there. Under one of its widely imposed travel bans, barring her from leaving the kingdom. Because let me tell you something. This man, they have strict laws on male guardianship. So she's not taking his daughter anywhere. And I probably bet you that his father told him, the grandfather of the child told his son, you have brought shame to our family. You've brought shame to our family. You need to get custody of your daughter or get that child back. Don't let her leave. Don't let her leave this country. You need to make it right and reestablish your rightful place in the family. So while she over there capping, trying to get her daughter, I would just want my daughter to meet her Saudi family. You clout chasing, and you think you special so you can come back to America and have something to talk about. Let me tell you something. They're not going to let you come back over here and have nothing critical to say about their country, because you already did it on Twitter when you tweeted something. And guess what? They put you in jail over there. And so now they have banned her from leaving the country. And she also said that they had the father had taken her passport and the daughter's passport from her, had confiscated it. So she don't even have the passports of her or her daughter. See, but when you think that you got the complexion for the protection, when you think that, they're going to show you that don't mean nothing over there. See, over here, it might mean something. Over there, it don't mean nothing. Because over there, they have different customs, they have different laws, and they operate and act differently. And when it comes to the women don't have no rights. They are submissive to the men. And so therefore, she thought she was going to go over there for a short stay, trying to throw her little, I'm over here. Them people saw through all of that. Them men saw through all of that over there. See, it's a difference over here. See, when you over here, you can throw around your weight. You got the complexion for the protection. You can do all of that and pretend to be something that you're not. See, your values here where you was raised can never be the values of how they actually, their culture is. You can pretend to have that culture, but it don't work. And you went over there and they saw through all of that, and they got the male guardianship laws on their side. So guess what? They kept you over there. And now you banned from traveling over there when your mama, not mother, but mama told you to stay from over there. Your mother did not want you going over there, and you went over there anyway when your mother told you not to go over there, and you went over there anyway. And so this is the results of you going over there when you should have stayed your behind at home, and you went over there anyway. And now you are stuck over there until they let you go. You are actually stuck over there. And so with that being said, there's a lot going on, but when you are going over, over to other countries, you have to be very careful about going to these other countries and thinking that you're going to tell them what to do. And especially in countries like SA, those type of countries, you have to be very careful going over there to those type of countries and thinking you're going to tell those folks what to do over there, because them people is not having it. They're not going to let you tell them how to run things over there. They know when you are Americanized. They know what type of, what they dealing with. And I'm just saying, and this is not to mock her, but she should have kept her behind at home, because them people over there was playing chess. They play chess over there. They don't play checkers. See, they just come with it right away. You know what I'm saying? They come with it right away is what they do. They just come with it. They don't play no games. And when they feel like you are doing something, being a critic towards their country, or you are tweeting things and saying things that may not be in a good light for their country, guess what they're going to do? They're going to lock you up is what they're going to do. And so therefore she is over there stuck over there, and she is not able to leave. And that's what's going on with Carly Morris, okay? And her mother's name is Denise. And Denise, is very concerned for her daughter. And I'm not saying one way or the other because they have laws over there. And, we have to follow these. If we're going to travel outside of the country to go to other countries, we have to abide by their laws. And we have to be very careful, just like, Dubai. People, when you travel into Dubai, you got to be careful. You traveling to SA, careful. Any of those countries over there, you need to be careful when you are traveling over there. And we can't just think that we all that, and we can't just think we're gonna go to these other countries and act a certain way because it can come back on you. It definitely can come back on you when you're going to these other countries and acting a certain way. But let's get into another, let's get into some other things because there are some other stuff going on that's out here in this world that we have seen so much of. I came across this other story about this woman that was gunned down, 28 years of age, and she was gunned down outside her work a day after she texted a co-worker telling him she didn't want him to touch her after repeatedly rejecting his relentless romantic advances. She did not want to be bothered with this young man. This man is not that young, though, but she didn't want to be bothered. 36 years of age with this man. She did not want to be bothered. So she texted him and she told him to leave her alone. Pretty much leave me alone. I'm not interested in you. And this is a nice looking 28-year-old woman, And he killed her. He shot her because she had repeatedly rejected Jordan Carpenter's romantic advances. Miss Hammond had texted Carpenter the previous day telling him that she did not want to be touched or manipulated by him and to not make things awkward. Now, they worked in the same place, at this company. He was making things awkward for her. He was touching on her and he was trying to manipulate her, and she was not interested in his romantic advances. Now, he shot her in the neck with a handgun by co-worker, and this is Jordan. He shot her. This was on October 24th when he shot her. The incident happened at around 7 a.m. in the parking lot of Dubois Textile in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Now, the police arrived shortly after and found the 28-year-old's body laying in the parking lot with a gunshot wound. Now, police said they attempted life-saving measures on Miss Hammond, but she died at the scene. Now, Jordan Carpenter, 36, had already fled the scene, right? However, police found Carpenter almost 3 hours later at a house in Sauk Rapids, right? Carpenter was taken into custody to be questioned by police and arrested on second-degree murder charges, okay? Now, the alleged killer, Jordan, did not admit to gunning down Miss Hammond, according to a probable cause statement obtained by the Kansas City Star. However, he did say he was walking toward Miss Hammond's car when the gun sounded. Now, does that make sense to you? He was walking towards her car when the gun sounded. Now, whose gun sounded? And did he see anyone when the gun sounded? That's not making sense, you people. And then, it doesn't make sense, right? And he told police that he ran away because he was too traumatized after seeing Miss Hammond's body. That's what he told the authorities when they arrived. So police said Carpenter didn't render aid. He didn't go to work. He didn't render aid. He didn't go to work. He didn't do none of that. Didn't render aid, didn't go to work. Let's see what else he didn't do here. Didn't call 911. He didn't do any of that. But the thing was, Miss Hammond had repeatedly told Carpenter that she was not interested in a romantic relationship with him. This guy was thirsty. He was desperate. And if the woman don't want to be with you, man, leave the people alone. Leave the female alone. It's plenty of fishes in the sea that will probably want to be with you. But this woman did not want to be with you. And so why would you want to hurt her? She didn't want to be with you, period. And so you decided that you was going to mess with this woman, and you killed her. And so now you being held at the Benton County Jail on charges related to homicide. Now you went threw your whole life away, Jordan Carpenter, because this woman didn't want you. You should have known how to accept rejection at 36 years of age. You still haven't learned how to accept rejection. So a probable cause statement showed that Miss Hammond had rejected Carpenter's advances by text message the night before. Miss Hammond told Carpenter that she did not want to be touched or manipulated by him and asked him not to make things uncomfortable at work. The police statement said she had repeatedly rejected his advances over the previous month. Okay. Police also said they found a text sent by Miss Hammond telling a friend that Carpenter was mad at her. Co-workers of Miss Hammond told the Kansas City Star that Carpenter had repeatedly harassed her and had a bad temper. So he had a bad temper and he could not accept rejection. He got angry when she texted him and told him she did not want to be with him. She did not want to have his advances. She did not want none of that. And she did not want a romantic relationship with him. And he was angry. And so guess what? Yep, he shot her in the neck. Now, the CEO of Dubois Textile, Rob Dubois, told Fox that this was never reported to management. It says that, unfortunately, we had no idea. Anytime there is anything that requires our intervention, we step in. But in this case, we had no indication that there was anything awry. Now, according to her obituary, she hoped to own her own jewelry business one day. She was beautiful, smart, determined, young woman. Now, let me say this. They said she also was a talented writer and enjoyed working on her car with her father, Steve. And it says some people that who she's some relatives and family and father and mother who she's survived by. Now, let me say this. If someone doesn't want to be with you, leave them alone, move along, drive your ducks to another pond. Don't sit up there and chase after someone that don't want to be with you. Don't lash out at them and get angry because they don't want to be with you. See, sometimes God is protecting you from the rejection. Rejection, when you are rejected, sometimes God is protecting you. So when you sit up here and go after someone and kill them, unalive them, because you are angry that they turned you down, you have a serious problem that you have never dealt with. And obviously that goes way back, not just when you was an adult, probably a kid, because maybe you was rejected a whole bunch of times and you just thought you was just so suave. And if somebody in your adulthood rejects you, you're going to go after them. But see, sometimes God protects us and he allows us to be rejected to be protected. And don't you know, Mr. Jordan Carpenter, that God was protecting you when she rejected you? But you wouldn't listen to God. You just kept going forward, messing with this woman, and you now killed her. And guess what? You have thrown your whole life away because you just couldn't accept rejection. You didn't realize that God was protecting you from the rejection. You didn't realize that somewhere you was being protected. And when you are being rejected, sometimes it's for our own good. We might not be able to see it, but if we just move along, drive our ducks to another pond, then guess what? Driving our ducks to another pond because there's more fish in the sea. See, that's the purpose of driving your ducks to another pond, because there's other fish in the sea. See, once somebody caught one fish, there's other fishes to be caught. And so if you had just allowed another fish to be caught that might have been interested in you, that might have been attracted to you, you still have your freedom, still working at Dubois Textile. You will still be working there, making your money, making a living. Now you're not going to be making that type of money. You're going to be making some money probably behind prison bars, maybe making some money beyond prison walls, and you're going to be stuck there without your freedom because you have taken a young lady's life because she rejected you. People is something else, people, I'm telling you. And I would not even want to be with this type of man. He don't look right. He does not look right, and I would not want to be with this man. But let's get into this other story, because this other story is about this husband and wife. They were teachers, and they were fired in Arizona after students discovered OnlyFans content. Now here they are at school making an OnlyFans content page. Now, why you using school time to do this? I have no idea. Now things are just getting worse and worse and worse, and we living in the last days, right? So this is out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And if you've ever been to Lake Havasu out there at the lake, a lot of people go and they say it's fun. I've never been yet. But anyway, these two teachers with Arizona's Lake Havasu Unified School District are looking for work after allegedly making sexually explicit content on school grounds for the subscription platform OnlyFans. Now, they was on school grounds doing it. See, this is why children cannot learn, because we need some teachers that will set some examples. We need teachers that will set some examples that are in the school system. But we have some teachers in the school system making OnlyFans pages in the school system. What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of nonsense is that? So here they are, two adults, okay? Samantha Peer, she was an 8th grade science teacher, teaching science. Science, you should be smarter than that. You making an OnlyFans page at school and you a science teacher? And then she was terminated on October 31st, and her husband, 4th grade teacher Dylan Peer, was fired 4 days later. Now, the district spokesperson, Andrea Hilart, told the Associated Press, AP, that policy prevents her from commenting publicly on personal matters. Well, you know what? That may be a personal matter, but it's also a public matter because the article has went public. And so therefore, they're confirming that that Samantha taught at Thunderbolts Middle School prior to her dismissal, noting that students found the sexually explicit content which appeared to be filmed in her classroom. Now, according to the News Herald, officials with Thunderbolt Middle sent an email to parents Monday warning them that students have been sharing explicit material involving a staff member, but they did not identify the staff or mention where the content was filmed. The images depicted did not happen during the school day, and the person depicted no longer works for LHUSD, which is Lake Havasu Unified School District, the email stated. Now, OnlyFans, and you all know what OnlyFans is. Well, if you don't, let me explain it to you, or let me tell you what it is, right? OnlyFans is a subscription-driven social media site known for users offering and buying adult content. Now, do you not know what adult content is? Adult content, getting on the OnlyFans, taking some pictures, without this top on, without my leggings on, that kind of stuff, more, explicit and, more seductive, and all that kind of stuff. OnlyFans, right? And so you need a subscription to be able to view those things, right? Okay. And so Samantha Peer also allegedly posted the explicit material, some of which featured her husband on other social media sites, including Reddit and the News Herald reported. Now, you all have heard of Reddit. I'm pretty sure you have heard of Reddit. And if you read any news reports about Reddit. Now, meanwhile, 8th grade parent Aaliyah Bilski told the newspaper that Samantha Peer's explicit account, which uses an alias, was linked to her non-alias social media pages. See, you got to be more careful. If you're going to do those type of things and participate in sexually explicit type of things, pornography, basically, if you will, adult content, you have got to be more careful. See, don't y'all understand? You got to level up if you're going to be doing some stuff like this. You cannot be doing it around children, and you cannot leave it up for children to get to. It's just like guns. You got to lock them up where kids can't get to them. You should have made sure that your alias that you was using was an alias all around, because you got this alias, but you linked it to a non-alias social media page. Do you not know children is looking for stuff? See, children these days, they go and look at people's background. And they probably was looking at the teacher's background. 8th grade, come on now, teacher's background. And if it was just an OnlyFans account, I wouldn't be as upset because then that would 100% be on the kids' parents. But this was public and an easy Google search to find everything, Bilski said. See, it was a Google search because she should have had it an alias, protected. See, what you do behind closed doors is your actual business. But when you put it out there publicly for people to search and children to search for it, this is what's going to happen. So neither Samantha nor Dylan Peer have commented publicly on the allegations or their terminations. Well, I guess not. Would you comment? Would you come out and speak knowing that you lost your job, and all of that other stuff? Why would you? And so this is just too much. You know what I'm saying? Just too much here. And then now, I want to share this with you too about this woman. Now, this woman, there's a video that shows this woman hanging dolls tied to nooses near campaign sign for Black candidate. So, a white woman in New Jersey was caught on surveillance camera while hanging stuffed animal toys tied to nooses near a campaign sign belonging to Tim Alexander, who is a Black candidate running for Congress. Police who are now looking for the suspect said the video shows a white woman with blonde hair first arriving in a dark-colored sedan, which appeared to be a Buick. She then hangs the stuffed animals on a tree standing next to a political sign for Alexander in Middle Township, New Jersey. CNN reports, okay? And it says, my visual response was it's disgusting and a pathetic attempt at intimidation using historically racist symbols to send a message to a Black candidate. So this white woman decided to go and hang some dolls with a noose and hang it next to a Black candidate that was running for Congress next to his sign, right? So now they're looking for her. So somebody recorded, it was a video. So obviously they got videos in the area, in the surrounding area. So he's actually running for New Jersey 2nd. He was running for the New Jersey 2nd congressional district in the House of Representatives, competing against Republican incumbent Representative Jeff Van Drew. Now, Middle Township Mayor Tim Donahue said the incident is a potential hate crime. This is not who we are in Middle Township. We stand united against all forms of racism, hate, threats, and intimidation, Donahue wrote in a post on Facebook. If this investigation proves charges are warranted, the perpetrator or perpetrators will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Now, according to the mayor, 3 stuffed dolls hung in nooses from a tree branch near the campaign sign. The MTPD has launched an immediate and thorough investigation into this potential hate crime, Donahue wrote. If this investigation proves charges are warranted, the perpetrator or perpetrators will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Now, how sad is that? Very, very sad that people today are still playing these type of games out here and thinking that it's okay. And eventually they will get caught. They're going to look into this and find out who this woman is. And this woman eventually is going to get caught. And hopefully she don't think that she has the protection, complexion for the protection. I hope she don't think that, because she needs to be held accountable for that. There should not ever be any intimidation when someone is running for political office, or any type of intimidation. But this is blatant when you hanging dolls with a noose next to a sign of a Black candidate, a political sign. There's a problem there, and she needs to be held accountable as well to the full extent of the law. Now, Wendy Williams and her son, Kevin Hunter Jr., have not spoken since her return home from rehab. Wendy refuses to talk to her son. According to an exclusive revelation from the U.S. Sun, a close family friend has alleged that Wendy Williams, who's 58 years old, last spoke to Kevin Jr. right before she checked out of a Malibu rehabilitation facility some time ago. And so since she's left treatment, she has not connected with her son. They had been communicating while she was undergoing care, but after she finished, they went silent. Now, Kevin has been through, HEL double hockey sticks this year, and last year, with everything going on with his mom and her losing her television talk show and giving it to, what was it, Shepherd. And so anyway, it breaks his heart that things seem to be going well while she was in rehab, but as soon as she got her freedom, she hasn't reached out to him since she got her freedom. Sometime, and this is a son and mother, so I hope that they can reconnect and reconcile and restore their relationship. But you know what that old saying goes is, when people need you, they want you there, and when you're there for them, and when they no longer need you, then they don't connect. And so I don't know if that's the case. Right now, she's living her best life. Maybe she feels she don't need her son right now. We hope that's not the case, because they are son and mother, and that can be very devastating for a mother, and it can be devastating for the son, and that's their only child from that union. And for him not to be able to talk with his mother, I can, I feel the heartfelt situation here. And sometimes, again, when people get what they need, sometimes they move on, and we hope that's not the case. And so the Inside also shared that Kevin is in his final year of school and trying his best to finish strong. Well, Kevin, I hope that you do finish strong. I hope you get through school and get what you need, brother, and make a life for yourself, because that's important, to make your own money and make a life for yourself. But I do hope that you and your mother can reconcile and get back on track and have an open line of communication like you had before. Now, however, with the circumstances surrounding his mother, it has been difficult. And according to Madam Noor, Kevin Jr. threatened to leave last year if his mom didn't seek help. And maybe that's what the whole thing was, and she got the help, and she said, you did this to me. I went, I got it, now leave me alone. Do you think that's what Wendy is saying? I hope that you'll leave your comments below, after this video, if you don't join the chat, and let me know what you think about it. Now, at the time, a close family member indicated that Wendy's relationship with Kevin Jr. was rocky. He had made it clear that he will no longer be a part of her life until she makes significant improvements. And maybe he gave her, an ultimatum, and she didn't like it. Wendy is her own person. You all know that. And she's been her own person for a long time. So when she got ill, it probably was hard for her to have to depend on other people. And when people was offering and reaching out for help for her, didn't she say she was fine? She didn't really need the help. And so, for him to give her an ultimatum like that, maybe that's what really hurt her. So she went into rehab. And then now she's saying, I don't need you. I don't want to be a part of your life. I don't want you, because when I wasn't in rehab, you gave me this ultimatum, and now you want me in your life. Who knows? I mean, but I still hope that they can reconcile and restore their relationship. Now, Williams' family problems has been a source of media attention for quite some time before she left. The family drama looked to be as popular as her show, because her show was popular. And, she used to always gossip and talk about other people and go hard in on them, and were very harsh towards people and very judgmental, to the point where it wasn't judgmental, where it was in fun. Like some comedians, they laugh and they joke, but it was really harsh. And so then it was just, and so when her drama came, it was just as popular as if she was on her own show, right? And so there was rumors swirling around that she wouldn't let her son into her residence, along with reports about her cheating husband. Shadow and Act reported that information. And so fans of Wendy in 2022 recounted that Kevin Jr. had taken charge of his mother's recovery in tropical Florida after she was sighted in a wheelchair all over New York City in the fall of 2021. Okay. So due to her struggles with Graves' disease, lymphedema, and substance abuse, Wendy missed the entirety of her final season on the Wendy Williams show. She departed from New York to spend time with Kevin Jr. And her family. And sources also noted that Wendy did well in Florida while being around family and friends, because then she probably had a good support system and everything like that while she was around friends and family. And it's good when you're going through things to be around friends and family and to have a good support system. That way, that helps you mentally and emotionally, because when you're alone, you tend to have these intrusive thoughts that come in your mind that is hard to push out, and then you become isolated and you sit around and you start to go into a depression. So it's better if you're around family and friends, people that really genuinely care about you, that want the good for you, and they're not here to take your money and all of that and for you to buy them things. They're there to help you get better, to bring you back to a good health, get you back in a good health, a good place with your health, and in a rightful spirit. You know what I mean? Not in a negative, down and out, downtrodden spirit, but in a good, uplifting spirit. And that's what true family and friends will do for you if you allow them, and they're genuine people, and they're not there to just take from you and ask you to buy them all types of stuff. And so with that being said, I really hope that her and her son get back together. And so, the TV personality had a number of public incidents after getting back to New York, despite having previously stated that she was sober. Now, the reason why she was under treatment was misuse and abuse of alcohol to a harmful degree, and there was no use of any other substances. At that time that we are aware of, that was reported, and many doctors have warned her, if you drink, you will die. If you drink, you will die. But she never cared to stop, and the people surrounding her encouraged her behavior. And see, that's the thing. Sometimes people that don't care about you or don't care about your well-being, and they just care about themselves and about getting stuff from you, they will encourage these type of behaviors that you are not supposed to be participating in. It should have been discouraged behavior instead of encouraged behavior. And she probably was the one paying for the alcohol. See, this is sad when people use other people and they don't care about other people. And now she's going to have her place to go through what she's going through, because there are consequences for your actions. But that doesn't mean that God doesn't allow second chances, right? God allows second, third, fourth, fifth, and on and on. God will allow those chances, and your past mistakes don't have to be don't have to be your failures, and it doesn't have to be your future or your destiny, right? And so Wendy's longtime production company, which is Delmar Mercury, officially confirmed earlier in the summer that the show would be canceled. You all remember that. And Sherry Shepard, a freaking guest host, took over the time slot. And it is currently unknown whether any episodes of Wendy's upcoming podcast have actually been recorded, despite her prior assertions, because she said she was coming out with the podcast. And so we really don't know if that is the case or not, because I haven't heard anything about her podcast or anything like that. And then we want to talk about, and I will be getting off shortly, but we want to talk about, Xzibit. Now, I had been reading this article and I had been meaning to get to it, but you have a life outside of YouTube, so sometimes it's hard to get to it. But I know that my other messages, spiritual messages, I know that helps a lot of people. That and that's easy to do, and that's what's really focused on my mind the first thing in the morning. But later on, when I get a chance, I like to catch up on a lot of these social issues that take place, that we can all have discussions about. Whether you come in the chat or whether you leave comments below, I will respond to your comments and interact with you. Okay. And so rapper Xzibit demands his ex Krista to get a job because she sues over alleged lifetime support promise. Now, I want to say this. Who in their right mind would promise to pay for a woman for the rest of their life when they are young? See, his ex-wife is still young enough to get a job, okay? She is young enough to get a job. And I believe that no man should be taking care of any woman for the rest of their life like that, unless they choose to do it and they're still together and it's something in writing, and that might even not hold up in court. But the thing is that we as adults are responsible for ourselves to a certain extent, right? Because if we're grown and we're in a marriage and we decide that, we are going to come up with an agreement that is amicable, and I stay home and raise the children and run the household, clean, keep it clean, prepare the meals, food, take the kids to school, all this kind of stuff while you go to work. That's a common in a lot of households, right? And there are some men that want their wives at home. But if you are a woman that can work after there's a divorce, your behind need to get a job. Get a jobby job. Go to school while see, this is the thing. These women be wanting all this money from these men. But at the end of the day, shouldn't you be trying to save some money that you're getting from your husband at the time you're married to them? Save up your money. Go back to school, because if you're at home and you don't have to work except for around the house and take care of the kids, I'm sure you can find some time to do schoolwork. so that you can go back to school. If you didn't do it before you got married, go back to school so you can get an education, a secondary education, so that if something doesn't work out in your marriage, then you have something to fall back on. But it's difficult when you don't have nothing to fall back on. And now you verbally out here, Krista Joiner, saying that Xzibit promised to take care of you and provide support for you for the rest of your life. But you still are able to work. You able body. I don't get that. Men, where are you? Because I'm trying to protect, I'm trying to speak up for you all on your behalf, men. So look, Rapid Xzibit wants his estranged wife, Krista Joiner, to get up. I understand. I agree with that. Get your behind up and get a job. And it says, and find work to partially support herself instead of relying on him. Now, he may have to pay some support. I'm not saying he doesn't have to do that, but she still needs to get a job. Get a job where you can partially, like he said, to partially support herself. So if he's giving you $2,000 a month, and I'm just throwing out a total, I don't know what his income financially, maybe they'll say it here, but I'm just saying, if he's giving you $2,000, at least you can do is go earn some, if it's part-time, you can earn some money and that'll go with what he's giving you. See, we got to learn to play smart. We got to stop playing checkers. I say that sometime, and I've been saying it a little bit today in the video prior, earlier in this video, excuse me. We got to stop playing checkers and start playing chess. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So if somebody is going to be able to help me out, and I'm entitled to alimony, if I'm entitled to alimony, and I'm going to go get me another job, right? I'm going to go get me another job. And that's extra money. That's extra money that I can live off of. That's extra. You want to go buy those Christian Louboutin shoes, with the red bottoms, as they call it. They took away Christian Louboutin. Now they just calling them red bottoms. You know what I'm saying? Or you want that nice coat, or you want to be able to shop and feel good like your friends that's out here shopping, buying things. You got extra. But when you sitting up here laying up saying you don't want to get a job because he promised to take care of you for the rest of your life. You young, and you know what the judge is probably gonna tell her, especially if it's not in writing, it's not in no paperwork anywhere, it's not in writing, it's just a verbal verbal statement that you saying. That's your word against his word. Let me tell you something. The judge probably gonna tell you, Krista, to get a job, a job, a job. That's all it is. And with the money that he's giving you, you might put some aside and try to get you is it something that you like doing? Is it something that you're good at? A lot of times people become successful based on their husband's success. Like, you remember Shaq? Look at Shawnee. She's remarried. She's moved on. But look, she became successful. Look at Kobe Bryant's wife, Vanessa, the late Kobe Bryant. She became successful. See, this is what we're talking about. These are women out here that have married into money. You hear what I'm saying? And now you got to learn how to play chess with the money that your rich husband is providing for you. Instead of sitting up here saying that he promised to take care of me for the rest of my life. You know what? I'm not trying to, I don't agree with that, because we some grown folks. And as grown folks, we need to take care of ourselves, especially when you went through a separation, getting a divorce, and you are still able-bodied. Get a job. Okay. So according to court documents obtained by RadarOnline.com, the legendary rapper asked the judge presiding over his bitter divorce to order Krista to undergo a vocational evaluation. You know what vocational is? Do you know? You know what vocational is? Most of us do, so I'm not going to insult anyone's intelligence, because most of us know what vocational evaluation is. He wants her to be evaluated to see what type of jobs that she is qualified or capable of getting. Simple as that. What knowledge does she have? Is she capable of working? And what is she capable of? What field she's capable of working in? And I'm sure it's a job. There is a job for everybody. There is a job for somebody out there. So, Krista, I am saying to you, girl, you got to play chess and go get you a job to take care of yourself, because no one is willing to take care of a grown woman that is able to take care of themselves. Now, so the evaluation will be conducted Look at this. The evaluation will be conducted by a court-appointed official who will sit down with Krista and complete Krista, not Krista, but Krista, and complete an examination. You see that? I don't blame you, Xzibit. But see, Xzibit, I don't know if you made that promise in the heat of, you know what? I don't know if you did that. But men, you got to be careful. Stop making promises that you don't intend to keep, that you don't plan on keeping, or you something might happen in the future that you cannot, and you will wind up reneging on those promises. Stop making promises that you can't keep. First of all, promising your wife that she'll never have to work, and now y'all going through a divorce, right? And she's still young enough to get a job. So that's not measurable. That's not measurable. And that's probably not attainable since you're going through a divorce, because no one never knows what is going to happen in a marriage. And I don't promote divorce, but I'm just saying. So really, you should just took care of her while you did, but making a promise like that, and we don't know if he made that promise or not. She said he did, so this is alleged, but I would be disputing that. I would have said, no, baby, I love you, but no, you may need to get a job. And we should promote people getting jobs, even if it's just part-time or a home business. Get a job, go back to school, so that if something does happen to your spouse, your mate, then they are capable. The other party that's living is capable of taking care of themselves. And even if you get it going through a divorce, that you are capable of at least partially contributing to your own livelihood and well-being. So the evaluation will be conducted by a court-appointed official who will sit down with Krista and complete an examination. During the session, the official will determine Krista's ability to work. See, that's what I told you. That is what I told you. Everybody know what vocational is, to see if, determine her ability to work and what can she do, that kind of thing, as well as her available employment options. And there's a lot of jobs out here that people may not want. McDonald's, these fast food restaurants, and these department stores and discount stores. There's a lot of jobs out here. And if she's college educated, or business college wise, or whatever she could do, go apply for a job. They office assistant, they will give it to her. They may give her a job, and then next thing you know, we'll be reading about Krista being successful, right? Because that's what we want. We want Krista to be successful. We want Krista Joiner, Xzibit's soon-to-be ex-wife. We want her to be successful, right? So the information that the expert obtains will be used when the court determines how much spousal and child support should be awarded. So guess what? Whatever her capabilities are is going to be minus, the child support and spousal support. So let's just say she's capable of making $3,000 a month. So that's $3,000 less that Xzibit has to pay. Okay. So anyway, Xzibit said his ex previously agreed to submit to an evaluation, but has since gone radio silent. No, because she don't want to do it. She's consented to it, but now she's backing out. And then, sometimes women be having people in their ear, girl, you should go after all you can get, because he promised that to you. This is not what I do. But let me explain something. This is what some women do. They put these batteries in these women back, tell them, girl, you need to get all you up because you stayed home and you raised his child, all that kind of stuff. Really? Okay. So Xzibit said his ex previously agreed to submit. Okay. He wants her sanctioned to the tune of $5,590 for blowing off their agreement. Now, the rappers demand that his ex find a job comes days after she sued him for allegedly breaking a promise to take care of her financially for the rest of her life. See, this is what I was explaining to you all. That is not something that's measurable. That is not something that you should ever agree to. Xzibit, did you agree to that? I would like to know if you agree to that. Did you agree to something like this? It's foolish if you agree to something like this, that she's claiming that he promised to take care of her financially for the rest of her life. That don't even sound right. That's, that sounds ignorant to me. It just don't sound right, but it sounds foolish to me. It does not sound right. But then again, hey, I wasn't there. Maybe he was in love. I don't know. Maybe he was in love and there was a moment that he lost his mind. I don't know. Did you lose your mind, Xzibit? Was there a moment that you lost your mind and you agreed to that? See, we can't be losing our mind when it comes to stuff like that. We cannot lose our mind when it comes to stuff like that. We gotta be in our right mind, because if you up here promising to take care of somebody financially for the rest of their life and she could prove that, dude, Xzibit, you know what? I'm done, Xzibit, if you did do that. Now, as RadarOnline.com previously reported earlier this week, Krista claimed in a new lawsuit that her ex made an oral agreement. See, that's what I was telling you all. That's exactly what I was saying to you all. She said he made an oral agreement. That will not hold up unless she can really prove that. That is not going to hold up. It's not going to hold up. It's an oral agreement. Oral, O-R-A, is not a written agreement. See, if Krista, first of all, if your man made that type of agreement, your husband, it should have been in writing. You should have had him to sign on the dotted line that he was going to financially take care of you for the rest of your life. Because see, you fighting over an oral agreement, and it don't sound like you have a lot of sense right now. And I'm just saying, but you might have some sense, but you fighting over something that you need to just go ahead and do the vocational evaluation and go get you a job to show the judge that you are trying to do better. You're trying to take care of you and your children. That might look good in your favor. So you got to learn to play chess and stop playing checkers, because at the end of the day, that was an oral agreement, is what you're saying. It's not in writing nowhere. So I don't even think a judge can enforce an oral agreement like that. And then she's saying an oral agreement to provide her lifelong support if she stayed home and took care of the household. You know, Krista said the deal Xzibit agreed to would provide for all of her financial support and need for the rest of her life in the same style and manner that was established during the parties' relationship. And nothing is in writing. Nothing is in writing. Man, it's always something, huh? This is a black couple, y'all. Y'all know who Xzibit is. Don't you all know who Xzibit is? Now, in the event the parties' relationship ended, all of the property acquired or entities or business established, or which property or entities business increased in value during their relationship as a result of Xzibit skills, efforts, labor, and earnings, regardless of how the title was formerly held, would be divided equally between them, she added. Now, that might happen. Whatever was established during the marriage might happen if they didn't have a prenup, and anything that was established in the marriage in California is considered community property. So that might hold up in the court of law. But however, this agreement about him taking care of her financially for the rest of her life, oral agreement, that probably won't hold up in the court of law. Now, Krista filed for divorce in 2021, and the two have been fighting over support ever since. See, let me tell you something. The woman, Krista, filed for divorce, right? Sometimes when the money is funny and it's no longer there, women get afraid. Women get afraid and they file for divorce because they worried about money, and they file for divorce. And sometimes when they're tired of the marriage and they just want to move on, then they'll file for divorce and try to take the man for everything they had, even though they didn't bring nothing into the marriage, but the man did. And see, this is why men should be having prenups a lot of times, because if you marry somebody that's not bringing anything into the marriage, not bringing nothing to the table, you don't have nothing to offer. Men, stop marrying these women that do that, because at the end of the day, look what's going to happen to you. You're going to be going through the same thing Xzibit is going through. And so Xzibit was ordered to pay $6,000 a month and support until a final decision is reached. The judge ordered the rapper to pay his ex $22.39 a month in child support for their 10-year-old son and $3,702 in spousal support. Okay, so that's basically roughly $6,000 a month. Now, Krista had demanded she wanted more than that, though. See, this is what she wanted. She wanted a monthly support check, claiming her ex makes $1 million per month from his weed business. The parties are set to face off in court early next year. So I will be following this case to keep you all up to date on this case, because actually she needs to get a job. And if it's not on paper that when he made this promise to you, I don't know when he made it. He could have made it under duress, and he could have made it under the other thing too. You know what I'm saying? Thinking with the wrong head, and he could have made it under a situation. But the whole thing of, if it's not in writing, it probably won't stand up in court, because people say a lot of things, and promises are meant to be broken, and people say a lot of things. So you know, X knows this, Xzibit knows this. This woman needs to get up, Krista, and get a job. Take care of yourself and stop acting like a leech, is what one of the comments say. And if you were worth a lifetime support, he would probably still be with you. Wow. Now I'm just reading this comment. I'm not saying nothing negative, because I encourage Krista to level up. I encourage you, Krista Joiner, to level up, go get you a job, and that and can contribute to whatever he has to pay you in support a month, and get a job and level up. Play chess and not checkers. Do what you have to do, and it'll be for your own good. Because how old is she? She's not that old for her to be saying that this man, I don't think she's that old. She's still working age for this man to be taking care of you for the rest of your life. To me, it sounds ignorant, but to somebody else, it may not. But in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, that sounds ignorant. That this man gonna take care of you for the rest of your life, and you still young, and you still vibrant, and you able to work for yourself and get a job. Come on now. That does not even make any sense. But then, men, good thing you didn't put that in writing, Xzibit. And let's hope you didn't. Let's hope there's nothing out there hidden somewhere that you put that in writing. And then on top of it, we got to stop making promises that we know we're not going to be able to keep. See, that's not something that you'll be able to keep, even if you did say something like this, And so, really, just get a job. The best thing to do, Krista, is get you a job, and you should have went to that evaluation. Go to the evaluation, the vocational evaluation. Let them evaluate you, see where you're at. That's a good idea. There are a lot of people that would love to have a vocational evaluation. You know what I'm saying? Because they can see where they're at. Especially if you're just re-entering the workforce and you've been away from the workforce for some time. It's good. It's real good. And so therefore, that's a good thing. And for Krista, that's a good thing. And it was set up. She agreed to it. And then all of a sudden, these girl, you don't have to work. This is what these women do. Girl, be putting batteries in these women back, but you do need to work, because the judge is probably not going to order that, because it's not in writing. It's an oral agreement, and it just doesn't sound right. But if you feel that you can win it, go for it. But I encourage you to get a job, to get back out there, see where you're at, and then go ahead and make some extra money for yourself. And with that being said, you all, thank you all that did tune in, that did, come in the video, and that was in the bushes. Thank you all, and I appreciate you, and I will definitely see you soon. But leave your respectful comments in the in the comment box, because I would love to really hear what you have to say about Xzibit and his soon-to-be ex-wife, Krista, demanding that he take care of her for the rest of her life, because it was an oral agreement, a promise that he made to her, and she's trying to hold him to that standard, that promise. And then tell me what you think about the Wendy Williams and her son. I hope that they can get back together, as son and daughter, to restore their relationship, reconciliation. And then what do you think about, the man that harmed, the other woman in Minnesota? He killed her because she rejected his passes at work. And the thing was, this woman should have went to her employer and told them what was going on, so that they could put some protection on her. And then what do you think about the woman that went over to Saudi Arabia, and she has an 8-year-old daughter? Her mother told her not to go. She got stuck over there, and she was hard-headed, trying to be something that she's not. See, this is the thing. Folks is playing chess these days, and you got to learn to play chess right along with them. See, let me tell you something. If I was to Saudi Arabia, going over there, and I had a Saudi American child, and I would have never went over there. That's the whole thing. I would not have went over there. I would have said, if you want to get a relationship with the daughter, then you need to show up over here. So you have to learn to start, leveling up when people are leveling up with you. You got to learn to level up, and you can't make no hasty decisions. You just cannot do those things. So anyway, with that being said, I would love to see you all again soon. So thank you all for tuning in. God bless you on today. Peace out.